just 3. To the 9th inning, Chien-Ming Wang will come on. The Tigers lead 2-0. And Kutcher and Tom Verducci will have the call tomorrow night with Edinson Volquez and his 2-0 record against Mike Pelfrey, the Wichita kid, who is 0-2 but has a good ERA. Final game of the series tomorrow night. Then the Orioles are here for a 3-game set beginning on Friday night. Chien-Ming Wang is on for the 3rd time this year to get the lower third of the Tigers' order in the 9th. Jared Saltalamacchia has walked twice and he has scored a run. We were discussing him last night. Thought to be a frontline catcher for many years. Came up through the Braves organization, a 1st-round pick. Traded to Texas in that Mark Teixeira deal. The Rangers got Saltalamacchia, they got Neftali Feliz, they got Matt Harrison, they got Elvis Andrus. And then went to Boston. Lines it towards left center field, and that's going to be to the wall. Saltalamacchia is on for the 3rd time. And this is a guy who didn't have any huge years with his first 3 organizations. Got a nice deal from the Marlins, and they released him with a year left on his contract. And the Tigers signed him to be a backup catcher, and now he's playing every day and leading the Tigers in several offensive categories.
Sure is, making the most of it, and he's doing it by staying inside of it and using the whole field. He's not just pulling balls. I mean, the switch hitter, last night we saw him take Duffy over the center field fence. Chien-Ming Wang, really heavy sinker baller. He'll mix in a curveball, maybe a changeup here or there, but he predominantly is a sinker, trying to keep the ball down and brings a lot of ground balls. Ghost wants to pull one and move him over.
And he does, and Hosmer was on it very quickly, so no advance. Saltalamacchia does not run well. Hosmer has a rifle for an arm. So runner at 2nd with 1 out.
We've seen the Gold Glover at first base throw out runners at 3rd base, but they weren't thinking. But Saltalamacchia, he knows all about the Gold Glove. Eric Hosmer, he knows. He stopped right there because Hos would have nailed him. Great throwing arm.
Heads up play by the base runner. I mean, I think most base runners, they see that ground ball to the right side and they're off.
Right, that Saltalamacchia, no, he knows all about it, so that was very heads up.
Here's Jose Iglesias. He has a 2-hit game tonight. And that sinker is low for ball 1. A single to right and a single to left for Jose Iglesias. One ball and 1 strike. There's Francisco Rodriguez getting ready for the bottom of the 9th inning. The Royals will have Morales, Gordon, and Perez. One and 2 on Iglesias. Chien-Ming Wang has not pitched in 9 days. Back on the 11th in Houston, he stranded a couple of runners in relief of Chris Young. Just outside, 2-2.
Well, one of the many reasons that Chien-Ming Wang made the team is because he's a veteran. He's a guy who's been around. He gets plenty of throwing on the side, and he does his simulated pitching and throwing off of the rubber, and he really relies on the sinker. So sinker's not so much a field pitch. He's going to try to go up there and keep it down.
Right to Infante. Saltalamacchia will go to 3rd, but there are 2 down. And tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, with producer Joe Vencius, director Steve Kurtenbach, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. Hi, Holtzy. And the producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. There's a strike to Ian Kinsler. Kinsler has driven in a run, and he has scored a run. Blocked by Salvi, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kinsler and Martinez, Victor Martinez, have the RBIs, but the 2 runs that scored, Saltalamacchia in the 3rd reached with a leadoff walk, and Kinsler in the 6th reached when he was hit by a pitch with 1 out.
Kinsler just took a peek down at Moustakas.
Up the middle and by Escobar, and the Tigers lead 3-0. So the Saltalamacchia leadoff double turns into a run, and Kinsler has driven in 2 tonight, and that's another multi-hit game for him. He has the most in the major league since the beginning of last year.
Sinker that didn't sink, it stayed up, and Kinsler again aiming towards the big part of the field. Right up the middle.
Is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Over for a strike.
That's where he wants it. Right down in that area.
One and one on Upton. Jammed him, but he muscles it out into right center field. Kinsler makes the turn and goes to 3rd.
Easy read for Kinsler, the base runner. Plays right in front of him. Upton fought off the sinker that was in on his hands, and he'll take it.
And that means that Miguel Cabrera will bat with 2 on, 2 out. And 1. Cabrera has 2 hits in the first 2 games of the series, and he's driven in a couple of runs, but he has been jammed and missed some pitches in this series more times than I think I've ever seen him in one series against the Royals. There's a little ground ball out to Infante, and that's the inning. But the Tigers score again. Kinsler drives in his 2nd, and Francisco Rodriguez will have 3 runs to work with as he comes on in the bottom of the 9th.